Three monsters bit Tristan in one night. A zombie, a vampire, and the werewolf who took his parents. He should have died. Instead, he became something the world had never seen before. Guards chained Tristan to a post as a throne room packed with werewolves howled for his death.
Boil him alive!
They smelled blood from his injuries. The injuries he'd gotten when he tried, and failed, to escape. The throne room went silent as soon as the mistress of Madden Creek stood. She was the daughter of the Lycan King, the true werewolf ruler, and she wanted revenge.
You stand trial for attempted escape, human. A crime punishable by death.
The mistress stroked Tristan's chin with her long nails and smiled seductively.
But I am merciful, unlike my father. I offer you this choice. Be torn apart by my wolves now, or let me bite you.
The crowd of wolves burst out laughing. All of them knew this wasn't really a choice. Humans transformed into werewolves lost their minds and became mindless, subservient creatures.
Do you understand, human? A quick death or a long, painful life serving me, until I become bored with you. Make your choice.
Tristan should have chosen death. His mother had screamed his name the night they took her. He'd promised her he'd burn this kingdom to the ground. He spent 4 years planning, 4 years training, 4 years barely eating their food, only to get caught trying to assassinate her. Now he had to make the most painful choice in his life. This was a world where humans were hunted by vampires, mauled by zombies, or enslaved by werewolves. The human resistance was hopeless, but Tristan couldn't give up yet. He had to keep fighting, even if he became a monster. He opened his mouth and said the word he knew he shouldn't.
Bite.
A small sound escaped the mistress, surprised but pleased.
Let's see how long that human willpower lasts.
The mistress started to transform. The 40 masked nobles on either side of the carpet turned their faces to the floor. No one warned him to look away, so he watched. He wished he hadn't.
This is going to hurt. I want you to feel every second.
He was ready, but not for what she'd say next.
Wyatt sends his regards.
Wyatt, his father's best friend. The man who'd helped raise him after they took his parents. The man who helped him plan his escape. They were going to join the resistance together. Tristan couldn't breathe.
He came to me 3 weeks ago, asked for a captain's rank. I asked what he had to give. He offered me you.
Her snout came lower.
It's kind of poetic. He's the one who gave your parents up 4 years ago.
Tristan's blood ran cold, but there was nothing he could do. The mistress's jaw opened. He was already screaming when her teeth went through his throat and the world went white. The pain was everywhere. It crawled into his body from the wound and spread outward. His collarbone snapped. His own blood ran into his mouth as he screamed until his voice broke. In the blinding white agony, 2 things stayed. The image of his mother screaming, and a promise. He was going to burn this kingdom to the ground, and he was going to start with the mistress. The mistress raised her head, his blood on her lips. She tilted her wolf head, considering.
Interesting. His blood tastes strange.
She turned back into a woman in front of him. Her bones reset. Her face came together. A servant ran forward with a cloak. By the time it covered her, she was just a woman again, smeared in his blood, smiling at him from ear to ear. She crouched, pressed her thumb to his cheek.
Sleep, my pawn. When you wake up, you'll be mine. I have such plans for you.
The dark took him. The last thing he heard was her voice, a long way off. When he woke, he'd be a mindless werewolf, the thing he hated most. Or he'd be dead. He was wrong about both. Tristan came back into his body screaming. Something was wrong. He was on the cold stone of a cell floor, alone, and his body wasn't his anymore. His heart stopped, then started, then stopped. His skin burned like he was lying on coals, then froze like he was in ice water. His teeth were too big for his mouth, then they shrunk. His eyes were on fire. He clawed at his face to make it stop. His fingernails came back red.
Error. Class does not exist. Error. Class does not exist. Error.
Letters he didn't recognize flickered across his vision and broke apart, then flickered again. He tried to scream. The sound came out as 3 different voices at once, none of them his. He was dying. He knew it. But then a voice cut into his thoughts.
Stop. Listen to me. You will die if you don't listen.
A man's voice. Calm. Old. Not in the room, but inside his head. Tristan thought he was hallucinating. He tried to push it away.
I am the only thing keeping you alive. Stop fighting me.
His heart stopped again. Longer this time.
Breathe. Through your nose. Slow.
Tristan tried but couldn't get his lungs to work right. The fire under his skin started to ease. His heart found a rhythm and held it. The voices in his throat went down to 1. He was on the floor, sweating, but alive.
My name is Julian. I am the administrator, and you should not exist.
Words dotted the center of his vision. Designation: Zombie Wolf. Grade: F. Tristan stared at the words, trying to read while fighting for his life.
What does that mean? What is happening to me? It appears you do not remember the events of last night. Allow me.
Tristan blinked and was transported back to last night, scaling the werewolf compound, running and running with the rest of the humans trying to escape. But then came the bear traps. He knew now that Wyatt had tipped off the werewolves. That was why the bear traps were set. One clamped down on his foot. He screamed in pain, but he saw a fellow human also trapped. He pried open the bear trap, crawled over to help the human up when a vampire swooped down from a tree and bit down on Tristan's throat.
Fight 1. Vampire.
Tristan screamed in pain. He pushed the vampire off and broke off running the best he could. But then something erupted through the trees. A massive, hideous zombie. The human Tristan had just saved took one look at it and pushed Tristan down.
Sorry, I gotta survive.
The ugly undead lumbered towards Tristan, moving faster than he imagined. It was all over him before he could react, chomping down at him.
Fight 2. Zombie.
Tristan blinked, and he was back on the cell floor, the pain from the bites lingering.
And you remember the last one. Bite 3. Werewolf. That's 3 total bites.
Vampire blood. Present. Zombie blood. Present. Werewolf blood. Present.
The system has no template for you. Then why am I alive? Because of what you are. There is something inside you that even I do not fully understand yet.
More words flickered over Tristan's eyes.
Vampire trait. Level 0. Zombie trait. Level 0. Werewolf trait. Level 0.
In order to level up the vampire trait, you must drink blood. Eat flesh to level up your zombie trait. Kill to level up the werewolf trait. You must level them together, or the genetic imbalance will tear you apart.
He should have been horrified, but he was already seeing the opportunity. He was going to kill the mistress. He just needed to grow stronger, and now he'd been handed away. For the first time, Tristan was able to breathe again. He stood.
This is perfect. Don't get any ideas. Right now, you are weak. There are children in this kingdom who could kill you with their bare hands. And if anyone learns what you are, they will kill you. Especially the mistress. Do you understand? Yes. You can turn the genes on and off, but the others are still there underneath. Be the werewolf side only. If you turn on the vampire and zombie genes on, the werewolves will sniff you out and tear you apart. Do you understand? Yes.
Footsteps in the corridor, coming closer.
They're coming for you. I have to go. Tristan, you are something the world has never seen. Do not let them know that before you're ready.
The footsteps stopped at his door. A bolt scraped. He fixed his face into the shape of a boy who just survived a bite and didn't know what he was. The door swung open. A werewolf in armor stood in the doorway. Behind him, the corridor sloped up toward Torchlight.
Good. You're alive. Get up. The mistress wants to see her new pet.
The mistress was in a robe at the fireplace. Hair down, bare feet. She didn't turn when the guard brought him in.
Leave him.
The guard pushed Tristan to the floor and left. Tristan climbed to his feet, trying to look like a boy who just survived a bite and didn't know what he was. Just like Julian had told him.
Closer.
He came closer. She turned. Her ruby eyes found his and held them.
You shouldn't be standing. The pawns I've turned before me, they didn't walk for 3 days. Some of them never walked again. And here you are, less than an hour after I bit you.
She circled him, looking over him carefully. Then out of nowhere, she grabbed his face, forcing him to look into her eyes.
My father is the king of Lycania. You knew that. What you didn't know is that he didn't want me. My mother wasn't a wolf. She was a servant girl he liked the smell of. He had me. Then he had 3 children with his real wife, the legitimate ones. They got the throne. I got an enclosure of human cattle to play with.
She held him so tightly, her nails made marks in his cheeks. She was so close he could feel her breath on his face.
I am going to kill him, Tristan, my father, and every wolf who chose his side. Then I will rule what's left. And the humans you came from, the cattle in the enclosures, they will belong to me. All of them. Slaves. Like nature intended.
He let her words sink in. She had her own wounds, but he wouldn't let himself feel sorry for her. He would let her turn him into a weapon and then kill her.
Yes, mistress.
Good boy.
She pressed her thumb to his cheek. She liked doing that.
Donovan will train you. Do not disappoint me.
Donovan was the mistress's enforcer. 6.5 feet of muscle and contempt. He'd been a human once, turned by her as well. The difference was that Donovan had taken the bite gladly. 40 years he'd served her. He saw Tristan as undeserving, weak. He hated him for it. He led him out of the chamber, out to the training fields. As soon as the sun hit Tristan, he felt his vampire genes react. His body grew sluggish.
What's wrong with you? Why are you moving so slow?
Tristan recalled Julian's words. He couldn't let anyone know about his vampire blood. He did his best to keep up.
Nothing, sir. Let's train.
The training was not training. It was punishment.
Again.
Tristan had been sprinting at a wooden post for 20 minutes, hitting it shoulder first. The post was reinforced. His shoulder was not.
Again.
Tristan ran, hit the post, bounced off, landed in a pile of glass shards. Donovan stepped down on Tristan, driving the glass shards deeper into his skin. He smiled as Tristan writhed in pain, but Tristan didn't scream. He bit down on the inside of his cheek hard enough to draw blood.
You have obtained a new skill, Pain Tolerance Level 1.
Most pups cry. You don't. How interesting.
Tristan sat up, glass falling out of his arms.
You think this is hard? This is the mistress's playroom. You wouldn't last a day where they raised me.
Tristan didn't ask. Donovan told him anyway.
Black Moon Academy. The day I got my acceptance letter was the proudest day of my father's life. You didn't make your father proud once, did you?
Tristan's hand tightened on a piece of glass on the floor.
Don't bother imagining yourself there. A like you wouldn't even get in, let alone survive the first day. Now get up, we're not done. Simulation room, now.
Tristan loosened his grip. He got up, and he added Donovan to the list of people he was going to one day kill. The room was empty when Tristan walked in. Then it wasn't. The walls dissolved into trees. The floor became dirt. Cold wind came in from nowhere. A simulated forest for training purposes. The other marked humans in the enclosure had whispered about it. He'd never believed them.
Survive 30 minutes. Don't die. I would say good luck, but I don't care.
Then a sound behind him. He turned. A ghoul. Tristan dove sideways. The thing's claws split the bark of the tree where his neck had been a second ago. The ghoul lunged again. Tristan put a tree between them, let it charge, stepped aside at the last second. The ghoul rammed its head into the trunk so hard the tree shook. Bark exploded. The ghoul staggered, dizzy.
You have obtained a new skill. Battle Tactics Level 1.
He didn't know what that meant. Then time slowed in his head. The skill activated, and he could see the ghoul's next move before it made it. He let it come 3 more times. Each time the ghoul hit the tree harder. The 4th time, half its skull caved in. He could barely stand. Tristan rushed. He drove the sword into the soft place where the skull had been and twisted. The ghoul went down.
Werewolf trait level up. Level 1.
The simulation cut out. The trees vanished. He was on the floor of the training tower again. That's when Tristan realized something was wrong. The door slammed open. The mistress stormed in, Donovan behind her. Bodyguards, all of them with weapons drawn, sweeping the room.
How did a living ghoul get inside my simulation?
Mistress,
She slapped him, hard enough to turn his head. The crack echoed off the stone walls.
Find who did it.
Donovan didn't speak, just left. The bodyguards followed. Tristan watched them go in disbelief, but he understood. That's why the ghoul was so hard to beat. It was real. The mistress turned to Tristan. Her eyes did something he hadn't seen before. They went sharp, calculating, like she was looking through him.
You killed it. A level 0 killed a real ghoul. With a sword that shouldn't have worked.
Tristan kept his face the way Julian had taught him.
I got lucky, mistress.
She watched him for a long second. He could feel her looking for the lie. She didn't find it. She turned and walked out. But she'd looked, and he knew that wouldn't be the end of that.
That was close.
Tristan's hands stopped in the water.
She used something on you, an ability that lets her see your gene status. She didn't see anything because you're hiding it correctly. But she looked, and she'll look again. You must be careful. What about Donovan? What's the deal with Black Moon? He was bragging, not threatening you. He's right. You shouldn't ever step foot there. Black Moon is the worst place in this kingdom for what you are. Every noble family in Lycania sends their children there. The professors are well trained. They'd know the truth about you immediately. You'd be dead in the hour.
Tristan started to sweat.
Relax. The mistress would never send you there. She wants you alive. Stay focused on getting stronger here. Quietly.
He looked at his status plate. Werewolf trait, level 1. Vampire, level 0. Zombie, level 0. Julian was right. 1 level up out of 3. After a day of Donovan's torture, after almost dying at the hands of a ghoul that wasn't supposed to be there. At this rate, it would take him a year to be strong enough to kill a single one of them. He didn't have a year. The mistress was already trying to figure him out. He needed to level up faster, and he couldn't do that without leveling up his vampire and zombie traits. He looked at the window. The mansion had a wall around it. The wall had guards. He'd memorized their rotations. He'd stay in werewolf form until he was past the wall. The wolves on duty would smell another wolf. Nothing alarming. Then he'd switch to zombie or vampire. Then he'd hunt. Tristan dropped from the wall on the far side of the mansion. No alarm, no shouts. The guard's rotation had a gap of 40 seconds. He needed 30. He walked through the streets of Madden Creek as a werewolf. Not transformed, just enough of the traits switched on to make a wolf's nose pick him up. Any patrol that crossed his path would smell one of their own and move on. Once he was clear of the wolf district, he'd flip it off, then turn the other 2 on. Vampire trait or zombie trait. He'd never tried either. Tonight he'd find a wild animal, drink a little, eat a little, get his other levels off 0. That was the plan. Then he heard the laugh. A woman's laugh. Behind him. High up. Like she was sitting on a roof. He turned.
Oh, look at this. The left someone behind for us after all.
She came down off the roof in a way that didn't look like falling. Just a step from where she'd been standing. Then she was on the cobbles in front of him. Pale. Black hair. Eyes too dark to be human eyes. Smiling with sharp fangs. A vampire. A second one stepped out of the alley behind him. A man this time. Same pale skin. Same wrong smile. Tristan's heart stopped. He pushed the way Julian had taught him. It kicked back in.
Vampires aren't supposed to be this deep in werewolf territory.
Aren't we, sweetheart? Your king made an arrangement. We're allowed to hunt one wolf a month inside the city. The treaty.
Tristan didn't know about any treaty. The Lycan King had given his enemies free hunting rights inside his daughter's territory. Did the mistress know? It didn't matter. They were here, looking at him like meat.
This one's young. Look at him. He's barely turned. Smell that?
Days old, maybe a week.
The woman tilted her head, licked her lips. The smile got wider.
Run, sweetheart. We like a chase.
Tristan did. He made it 3 blocks. He thought he'd lost them. Then he understood. They weren't chasing. They were herding. Every turn he took, one of them was already there, standing at the end of the street, smiling, pushing him toward the next alley. They were faster than him, older than him. He was easy prey. They were enjoying it. He turned a corner and the man was waiting for him with his arms folded.
I'm bored, should we end it?
He moved before Tristan could react. A hand at Tristan's throat, the wall against his back, his feet off the ground.
Quick or slow? My friend likes them slow.
Tristan kicked, bit, tried to claw. The vampire didn't move. Julian's voice cut in, urgent, different from before.
You're going to die. Listen, there is a thing inside you have not used yet. You won't have long, but it might be enough.
Tristan's vision was going dark at the edges.
Activate them all, at once. You will have 2 minutes, then you must change back.
Tristan hesitated. Julian had told him what would happen.
I know what I said. The genes will tear you in half. There will be pain. But it's that or die here. Choose.
The vampire's grip tightened. The dark in his vision closed in another inch. Tristan reached into his chest and let go of everything.
Warning. Multiple traits active. Warning. Unstable form detected.
Pain. Worse than the bite. Worse than the glass. Worse than anything Donovan had done to him in 4 days. His skin caught fire and froze at the same time. His heart stopped and started so fast it sounded like a drum. His teeth grew in 3 different shapes at once. His bones cracked and reset and cracked again. His eyes, he could feel them, started to glow.
New form unlocked. Undead Rhapsody.
The vampire holding him let go, took a step back.
What are you?
Tristan landed on his feet, looked up. The vampire's face did something Tristan would never forget. It went from confusion to recognition to fear. The man tried to run. Tristan caught him by the wrist before he made it 2 steps. Tristan put everything he had into the punch. Then the vampire started to die.
Skill obtained. The Coffin. Vampire trait level up. Level 1.
The man went to ash before he hit the ground. The woman screamed. She came at Tristan like a thrown blade, faster than the man had been, furious, grief-stricken. Perhaps they were lovers. Tristan couldn't find it in himself to feel sorry for her. The old him would have. He could have run. The form was unstable. 2 minutes was almost up. But he didn't. There was too much at stake now. He came all this way to level up. This was his shot. She was a foot from him when he caught her face in one hand. The system told him what was happening.
Skill activated. Life drain.
Her eyes started to drain. Not just the color, the spark behind them. Whatever vampires used to keep moving, he was taking it. She tried to scream. Nothing came out. Tristan watched everything drain out of her. He didn't enjoy it, but he didn't stop either. When she was empty, he let her drop. Her body went to ash on the way down.
Vampire trait level up. Level 2. Zombie trait level up. Level 1. Werewolf trait level up. Level 2.
Then the form started to come apart. Tristan felt weak. He stumbled.
2 minutes is up. Get out of it now. You're risking burnout. Damage to your body you'll never recover from.
But Tristan didn't know how. He was on his knees on the cobbles, steam coming off his skin.
Find the wolf. Hold the wolf. Let the others go.
He pushed. The vampire and zombie traits drained out of him like water. The werewolf side stayed. The pain went down to a level he could stand. He was kneeling in the middle of an empty street with 2 piles of ash and his own steam rising around him.
Get up. Get back to the mansion. Now, before someone comes.
Tristan did as he was told. He couldn't help but think he'd just killed 2 vampires, higher level than him, with a form the system had never recorded. He should have been horrified. He wasn't. Tristan came back over the wall the way he'd left. The mansion was quiet. No one had noticed him gone. He stood in front of his basin, washed his hands. The water went black, then red, then clear. He looked at his status plate. Vampire, level 2. Zombie, level 1. Werewolf, level 2. 3 nights ago, he'd been a chained human boy. Now he was strong enough to kill the things that had hunted him. Without thinking, he knew. He was now strong enough to kill Donovan. He picked up a knife from his belt. Heavy, plain, the kind no one would notice missing. Then Tristan was walking towards Donovan's door. Tristan stepped into the corridor with the knife in his hand. He'd watched the rotation. Donovan slept alone. He slept hard. 40 years of being the mistress's favorite had made him sloppy. Tristan had added the man to a list, and now he was about to cross him off it. He continued down the hall, almost there. Then,
Where are you going, sweetie?
Tristan stopped. She was at the other end of the corridor, leaning against the wall, robe loose, bare feet. How long had she been there? He hadn't heard her arrive. He hadn't smelled her either. That should have been impossible. He hid the knife behind his back. Too slow. Her eyes had already found it.
Bring it out, sweetie. Don't be shy.
He brought it out. She started walking toward him. Slow. He was already cornered.
2 of my hunters just reported. Vampires from the courts were killed in my city tonight. I just got the report. Their bodies turned to ash before my men could bring them in.
She stopped a few feet from him, looked him over the way she had 4 nights ago, before the bite. Slow. Possessive.
Strange. Killing vampires that fast? That shouldn't be possible for a young wolf. Especially one I bit 4 nights ago.
Tristan's heart almost stopped. He pushed.
Show me your status plate.
He pulled it up. The blue interface unfolded between them. Julian had told him weeks ago, "People only see what I let them see." He hoped Julian was right. The mistress's eyes moved over the plate. Tristan watched her face, looking for a shift in her expression, something that told him everything had just changed. But it never came.
Werewolf trait level 2. Pain tolerance. Battle tactics. That's it?
That's it, mistress.
She kept her eyes on the plate, then on him, then on the knife in his hand.
And the knife?
He didn't have an answer ready. The truth, then.
Donovan.
The mistress laughed, soft, genuine.
Oh, sweetie. You were going to kill him?
Yes.
She tilted her head.
In his sleep? I should be furious with you. Donovan is one of my best.
She took the last step toward him, pressed her thumb to his cheek yet again.
But I'm not. I find it impressive. A boy who's been a werewolf for 4 days, sneaking out at night with a kitchen knife to murder my 40-year enforcer.
Her thumb moved up to the corner of his eye. She looked hopeful.
You really can be everything I hoped for. And I have just the place to make sure of it.
Tristan didn't move. He kept his face the way Julian had taught him.
Yes. What place, mistress?
Black Moon Academy. I will pull some strings. Call in favors my father won't be happy I still have. But you will be attending.
She smiled, like she was giving him a gift.
Entrance exam in 2 weeks. You'll be the first Weremutt in their history to take it.
Tristan's heart tried to stop again. He didn't push it back this time. He let it stop. Just for a second. Then started it back. He thought about Julian's voice in his cell. Black Moon is the worst place in this kingdom for what you are. The mistress would never send you there. She needs you alive, but she just said he was going.
Smile, sweetie. This is the best gift I've ever given anyone.
Tristan tried to smile, but he felt sick. The mistress took the knife from his hand without resistance, walked back down the corridor, didn't look back.
Get some sleep. You have a lot to learn.
She turned the corner. Gone. Tristan stood in the empty corridor. 3 doors down, Donovan was still alive. He'd have to wait. In 2 weeks, Tristan was going to walk into the kingdom's most dangerous school, full of wolves who could expose him, full of the mistress's enemies, the Lycan King's own children, sitting in the same classroom. The thing Julian said would be the worst thing, the thing he said couldn't happen.
I was wrong. The mistress doesn't pull strings like that on her own. Someone else wants you in Black Moon. I don't know who, but you are walking into something neither of us can see.
Tristan didn't answer. He still knew what he wanted to do. Get revenge for his parents. Keep his secret. And he would have to survive Black Moon while he did it.
Julian said the mistress doesn't pull strings like that on her own. Who else wants Tristan enrolled in a school where half the students are killed? The mistress thinks Tristan is the weapon that will get her revenge on her father, the Lycan King. What will she do when she finds out the weapon she built is coming for her instead? The system has no template for what Tristan is. Undead Rhapsody is unthinkable power he can only activate for 2 minutes. What happens the day he can't shut it off? To find out, listen to Zompire Wolf, only on the Pocket FM app.